Hello, my amazing students. I'm so happy to see you here today. My name is Emma, and you're watching Easy English Way, the place where learning English becomes easy, fun, and natural. Today, I want to talk to you about something truly powerful. Something that can completely change the way you learn English. I want you to listen to me carefully and open your mind, because what I'm going to tell you can make your English learning journey faster, smoother, and much more enjoyable. You see, many people believe that English is difficult. They think that only people who live in English-speaking countries can become fluent. They think that speaking English naturally is only for special people. But I'm here to tell you that this is not true. English is not difficult. English is not impossible. You can speak English fluently. You can express your thoughts clearly and confidently. You can understand movies, talk to foreigners, travel the world, and feel proud of yourself when you use English, and you can do all of this faster than you imagine. I know, right now, maybe you feel nervous when you try to speak. Maybe your heart beats fast, your hands feel cold, and your brain suddenly becomes empty. You know the words, you understand when someone else speaks, but when it's your turn, you freeze. You open your mouth, and nothing comes out. You start thinking, what if I make a mistake? What if they laugh at me? What if I forget the word? And then you stop. You give up before you even start. If that sounds familiar, please know, I understand you. I have been there too. When I was learning a new language, I felt exactly the same. I remember sitting in class, wanting to speak, but being too afraid to raise my hand. I remember knowing what I wanted to say, but not having the right words. I remember watching people talk so fast that I couldn't catch a single sentence. I felt lost, embarrassed, and frustrated. But one day, something changed. I realized that the real problem wasn't the language itself. It wasn't grammar, or vocabulary, or pronunciation. The real problem was fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of not being perfect. That fear was like a wall between me and the language. Once I started breaking that wall, everything became easier. So today, my dear students, I want to help you break that same wall. From this moment on, I want you to forget everything that made English difficult for you. Forget about complicated grammar books. Forget about memorizing endless lists of words. Forget about being perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be brave. Because the truth is, the biggest reason people fail to speak English fluently is not lack of knowledge, it is fear. Fear of mistakes, fear of embarrassment, fear of being judged. But let me ask you a simple question. How did you learn your first language? Did you study grammar rules? Did you memorize word lists? Did you sit in a classroom for years before you spoke? No. You listened, you copied, you made mistakes, and you learned naturally. And that's exactly how you can learn English too. You don't need to study English, you need to live it. English should not be something you practice for 1 hour a day and then forget for the rest of the day. English should become part of your life, part of your thinking, part of your world. You should hear it, feel it, use it, and enjoy it every single day. Maybe right now you're thinking, "But Emma, how can I do that? I don't live in an English-speaking country. I don't have anyone to talk to." Don't worry. You don't need to move to another country to speak English fluently. You can create your own English world, right where you are. You can surround yourself with English every single day, no matter where you live. I'm going to show you exactly how. In this lesson, I will not just give you tips. I will take you on a journey that will transform your English from something difficult and scary into something simple and natural. Together, we'll change the way your brain thinks about English. We'll remove your fear and replace it with confidence. We'll stop translating and start thinking directly in English. And by the end of this journey, you'll realize that English was never the problem, it was the way you practiced it. Once you change your method, your confidence will grow, your words will flow, and English will finally feel natural to you. So, are you ready to begin? Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, smile, and say this with me: English is easy. I can speak English. I am learning every day. Say it again, louder this time. English is easy. I can speak English. I am learning every day. Good. You see, even saying those words changes how you feel. When you believe English is easy, your brain starts to believe it too. From today, never say, "My English is bad." Never say, "I can't speak English." Instead, say, "I'm learning and improving every day." This small change in your thoughts will create a big change in your progress. Because learning a language is not only about studying, it's about mindset. When you change your mindset, everything else becomes possible. Now, let's begin this beautiful journey together, step by step, here on Easy English Way. Now that you've made the decision to learn English the easy way, I want you to understand one very important truth. Learning English is not about how smart you are, it's about how you practice and how you feel when you practice. When you believe something is hard, your brain automatically creates resistance. It says, "This is too difficult. I can't do it." And when your brain believes that, it stops trying. But when you believe that something is possible, your brain becomes open, curious, and excited to learn. So, from today, I want you to change your mindset completely. Stop thinking that English is hard. Stop saying, "I will never be fluent." Instead, start saying, "I'm on my way to fluency." Every day I'm improving. Every day I'm getting better. The first and most powerful step to learning English is to believe that you can. Let me give you an example. Think about a little baby who is learning to walk. The baby falls again and again. Sometimes he falls on his face, sometimes on his back. But does he stop? Does he say, "Walking is too hard. I will never walk"? No. He laughs, gets up, and tries again. And after a few weeks, he walks without even thinking. That's exactly how your English journey works. You might make mistakes, you might feel shy, you might forget words, but every time you try, you get closer to fluency. Mistakes are not signs of failure, they are signs of growth. Every mistake means you are learning something new. So don't be afraid of them. Be proud of them. I want you to remember this forever. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. So the next time you say something wrong, smile and think, "Good. That means I'm improving." Now, I want to teach you something powerful, something that can completely change your English practice. Stop studying English and start living English. Let me explain. Most learners think that learning English means sitting with a book, studying grammar, and doing exercises. But that's not how your brain truly learns a language. Your brain learns through experience, repetition, and emotion. When you hear, see, and use English in your real life, your brain starts to connect the language with meaning. And that's how you remember it forever. But when you only memorize words from a list, you forget them after a few days. So, how do you live English? It's simple. You make English part of your daily life. From today, I want you to imagine that you live in an English-speaking world, even if you don't. Start by changing your phone's language to English. Every time you check your phone, you'll see English words. You'll read messages, gallery, settings, and contacts. These small words will become familiar, and you'll learn them without even trying. Then, start watching short videos in English, but don't just watch passively. Repeat after the speaker. Listen carefully to the pronunciation, the rhythm, and the tone. Try to copy it. This is called shadowing. It's one of the best ways to train your mouth and brain to speak naturally. Next, start thinking in English. Right now, you probably think in your native language and then translate to English. That's why you speak slowly. Translation takes time. But when you start thinking in English, the words come to you automatically. Start small. For example, when you wake up, don't think, "I have to brush my teeth." Instead, think, "I need to brush my teeth." When you go to the kitchen, think, "I'm making breakfast." When you see the sun outside, think, "The weather is beautiful today." At first, it will feel strange, maybe even uncomfortable. Your brain will try to go back to your native language. But don't stop. Keep doing it every single day. After some time, English will become natural, just like your first language. And here's a powerful secret. The more you talk to yourself in English, the faster you improve. Yes, you heard me right. Talk to yourself. Stand in front of the mirror, smile, and start a small conversation. For example, "Good morning, Emma. How are you today?" "I'm great. I slept well, and I'm ready for a new day." This may sound funny, but trust me, it works. When you talk to yourself, you practice without fear. You make mistakes freely. You build confidence. You can even label things around your house. Take small pieces of paper and write the English names of the objects you use daily. Stick them everywhere, on your mirror, your refrigerator, your table, your door. Every time you see them, read them aloud. This is a mirror. I see myself in the mirror. This is a cup. I drink tea from this cup. These little actions may look simple, but they create big changes. They train your brain to recognize English words automatically. The more you surround yourself with English, the more your brain accepts it as a natural part of your world. And remember, fluency doesn't come from studying for 10 hours once a week. It comes from practicing a little every day. Even 10 minutes of English each day is better than 3 hours once a week. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. So promise yourself this: from today, you will not just learn English, you will live English. You will listen, speak, read, and think in English every single day. You will make mistakes proudly. You will enjoy every small victory. This is your new beginning. This is your new way, the easy English way. Now that you know how to live with English every day, it's time to take the next big step: speaking with confidence. You see, most people who study English understand the language very well. They can read books, watch movies, and even write emails. But when it's time to speak, they become nervous. Their voice shakes, their words disappear, and suddenly they feel small and shy. If this has ever happened to you, listen carefully. Confidence is not something you are born with, it's something you build. Even native speakers make mistakes when they speak. They forget words, they repeat themselves, they say and The difference is that they don't care. They keep going. They communicate. They focus on the message, not perfection. So if you want to sound confident, stop waiting for the perfect English moment. It doesn't exist. The perfect time to speak is now. Every time you open your mouth and try, you are training your brain and your tongue to work together. Here's something important to understand: you don't need perfect grammar to be understood. People don't remember your grammar, they remember your energy, your tone, your smile, and your message. If you say, "Yesterday I go park," people will still understand you. If you say, "Yesterday I went to the park," that's great, but don't wait until you can form perfect sentences before you start speaking. Just speak. When you speak, speak slowly and clearly. Don't rush. Many learners believe that speaking fast makes them sound fluent, but it usually does the opposite. It makes your pronunciation unclear and your mind confused. Speaking slowly shows confidence. It gives your brain time to choose the right words. Another great way to improve your pronunciation and sound more natural is to listen and copy. Choose a short video, maybe from your favorite movie or from the Easy English Way channel, and listen carefully to the way native speakers talk. Pay attention to their rhythm, their stress, and their pauses. Then repeat the same lines exactly as they say them. Try to imitate the sound, the tone, and even the facial expressions. This exercise is called shadowing. It's like being an actor in a movie, but your goal is not to act. Your goal is to train your mouth and brain to move in English. When you do this regularly, you'll notice something amazing. Your pronunciation will start improving naturally. Your mouth will feel more comfortable producing English sounds, and your confidence will rise without you even realizing it. Here's another secret technique: record yourself. Many people feel afraid to hear their own voice in English, but recording yourself is one of the most powerful tools for improvement. Choose a short paragraph or a few sentences, record yourself reading them, then listen carefully. Compare your pronunciation with a native speaker's version. Notice the differences. Correct yourself. At first, you might think, "Oh, I sound strange." But that's normal. Everyone feels that way in the beginning. Over time, your recordings will become smoother, clearer, and more confident. You'll hear your own progress, and that will motivate you to keep going. Now, let's talk about a daily speaking habit that will make you fluent faster than anything else: talking to yourself in English. Yes, I know it sounds funny, but this is one of the most effective ways to practice. Because when you talk to yourself, there's no fear of judgment, no one to laugh, no pressure, just you and your thoughts. Every morning, when you wake up, start speaking to yourself. "Good morning, Emma. I feel great today. The sun is shining. I'm going to make some tea." While brushing your teeth, say, "I'm brushing my teeth right now. My toothpaste smells fresh. In the kitchen, I'm making breakfast. I'm frying eggs. I love the smell of coffee. Before leaving the house, I'm ready for the day. Let's go." By doing this, you train your brain to think in English automatically. You won't have to translate. The words will come to you naturally, because you are practicing them in real-life situations. Later, when you meet someone and have to speak English, your brain will recognize those same phrases and use them without effort. It will feel like your brain already knows what to say. You can also imagine simple conversations in your head. For example, imagine you're at a cafe. "Hi, how are you?" "I'm good, thank you." "Can I have a coffee, please?" "Sure." "Anything else?" "No, that's all. Thank you." These small imaginary dialogues are powerful because they prepare your brain for real situations. The more you practice speaking alone, the easier it becomes to speak with others. Remember, confidence doesn't appear suddenly one day. It grows from repetition. It grows from small daily practice. If you speak English for just 10 to 15 minutes every day, to yourself, to a friend, or even to your mirror, in 1 month, you'll notice a huge change. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more comfortable using English. Now let's talk about your voice. Your voice is your identity. Don't try to copy someone else's accent perfectly. You don't need to sound like an American or British person. What matters is clarity. People should understand you easily. That's all. So, focus on clear pronunciation, not imitation. If you say water a little differently, that's okay. If your accent shows where you're from, that's beautiful. It means English belongs to you, too. Remember, English is not only for native speakers. It's a global language, and it's yours as much as anyone's. So, speak proudly. Let your voice be strong, confident, and unique. And here's a simple rule that can change everything: the 3-second rule. When someone asks you a question in English, don't wait too long to answer. Don't think for 10 seconds, translating and worrying. Give yourself 3 seconds, then speak. Even if it's not perfect, say something. Keep the conversation alive. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become. Fluency is not about speaking without mistakes. It's about speaking without fear. Once you remove fear, your English will flow naturally. So, my dear students, I want you to promise yourself this right now: you will not be silent anymore. You will not let fear control you. You will speak, you will make mistakes, and you will learn from them. Because that's how every successful English speaker in the world started, including me. And remember, every time you feel nervous, take a deep breath and say to yourself, I am confident. I am learning. I am improving. My English is getting better every day. Say it again. This time, say it with a smile. I am confident. I am learning. I am improving. My English is getting better every day. You are doing amazing. Keep going. This is just the beginning. Now that you've started speaking to yourself and building your confidence, it's time to take English out into the real world. Because real learning doesn't happen only in books or videos, it happens when you use English to live. You don't need to wait until you travel abroad. You don't need to move to London or New York to practice English. You can create small English moments in your daily life, wherever you are, whoever you are. Let's start with the simplest one: English at home. Every morning, when you wake up, make English part of your routine. Talk about what you're doing. When you open your eyes, say, it's a new day. I feel good. When you make your bed, say, I'm making my bed neatly. When you cook, describe your actions. I'm cutting tomatoes. I'm boiling water. I'm making coffee. These simple sentences are powerful because they connect your language to your actions. Your brain loves context. It remembers words better when they're connected to real things. You're not just saying words, you're living them. Now, imagine you go outside. You can use English in your mind everywhere. When you see people, think, that woman is wearing a red dress. When you see a car, think, that car is moving fast. When you wait for the bus, think, the bus is late today. These small thoughts are like exercises for your brain. The more you do it, the faster your brain will start thinking in English automatically. Then, try to bring English into your daily conversations. Maybe you have a friend who's also learning English. Send them a short voice message in English every day. It doesn't need to be long or perfect. Just say something like, "Hey, how was your day?" or "I'm watching a new movie." It's really good. Little by little, you'll get used to expressing yourself without hesitation. If you don't have anyone to talk to, that's okay too. You can join online communities where people practice English together. There are groups on social media, language exchange apps, and even comment sections on YouTube where learners share their ideas. When you write comments in English, your brain is also learning, because writing and speaking are deeply connected. Another great habit is to use English while shopping or doing everyday things. Let's say you go to a store. Instead of thinking in your native language, ask yourself in English, what do I need to buy? How much does this cost? Where can I find the bread? You can even imagine small dialogues with the shopkeeper. Excuse me, can I pay by card? Yes, sure. Thank you so much. You're welcome. These small imaginary conversations prepare your mind for real ones. One day, when you meet a tourist or travel abroad, you'll be surprised at how naturally the words come out. And speaking of travel, if you ever visit an English-speaking country, remember this: fluency doesn't come from grammar, it comes from interaction. Talk to people. Ask for directions. Order food. Even if your grammar isn't perfect, just speak. People will respect your effort and help you. Every conversation you have adds another brick to your confidence wall. Soon, that wall becomes strong and unbreakable. Now, let's practice another powerful exercise together. It's called English in Your World. Here's how it works. Every day, choose one small part of your life and describe it in English, aloud or in your notebook. For example, if today you focus on your morning, you might write, I wake up at 7. I open the window. The air feels fresh. I drink a glass of water. I stretch my arms. Then I go to the kitchen and make breakfast. If tomorrow you focus on your evening, you might say, I come home tired but happy. I take a shower. I relax on the sofa and watch a video on Easy English Way. When you do this daily, you'll not only learn new words, but you'll also train your brain to tell stories in English, and storytelling is one of the most natural ways to become fluent. And don't forget, English is everywhere. When you listen to music, look at the lyrics and sing along. When you watch a movie, turn on English subtitles. When you see a sign or a label in English, read it aloud. Your brain loves repetition, and every time you read, hear, or say English, you're feeding your language memory. You can also use English when you're alone. For example, when you're walking, think about your day in English. What did I do this morning? What am I going to do tonight? What do I want to learn tomorrow? This is how fluency is built, not by memorizing grammar, but by using English to think, plan, and feel. And remember something very important: every small effort counts. Maybe you only practiced for 5 minutes today. Maybe you made mistakes. That's okay. You still moved one step forward. Learning English is not a race, it's a journey. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you don't feel like studying, days when your progress feels slow. But don't stop. Because every small step, even the smallest one, takes you closer to your goal. So, my dear friends, when you wake up tomorrow, don't say, "I'll try to practice English." Say, "I will live English today." Because English is not something outside of you, it's something you can make part of your life. And when you live it, love it, and use it, you'll notice that English starts to live inside you too. This is the secret. This is how fluency begins. And this is the Easy English Way. You are doing an amazing job, my friend. Really. Most people give up before they even start. But you are still here, still learning, still trying, and that means you're already a winner. Now, let's talk about something very important: your mindset. Because your mindset decides everything. It decides how fast you learn, how confident you feel, and how long you stay motivated. If you believe that English is difficult, your brain will find proof that it's difficult. You'll notice every mistake, every hard word, every time you forget something, and you'll think, "See? I can't do this." But if you believe that English is easy, your brain will start finding proof that it's easy. You'll notice progress, you'll remember new words, you'll understand more, and you'll say, "Wow, I'm really improving." So today, I want you to change your inner voice. From now on, never say, "My English is bad." Say, "My English is getting better every day." Never say, "I'm not fluent." Say, "I'm becoming more fluent every day." This is not just positive thinking, it's science. Your brain believes what you repeat. So repeat the good things. If you make mistakes, don't be sad. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. Even native speakers make mistakes. I make mistakes. Everyone does. The only people who never make mistakes are the ones who never try. So be proud of every mistake, because each one brings you closer to fluency. And when you feel embarrassed, remember this: nobody is judging you. When people hear you speak English, they're not thinking about your grammar. They're thinking, wow, this person is learning a new language. That's amazing. You should be proud of yourself. You're doing something brave, something that many people only dream of doing. Now, let's talk about motivation, how to stay excited about learning every day. Motivation is like a fire. At the beginning, it burns bright, but if you don't feed it, it slowly goes out. So how do we keep it alive? First, make learning fun. Don't just study from textbooks. Watch videos you enjoy. Listen to songs you love. Read stories that make you smile. Learning should never feel like punishment, it should feel like discovery. When you enjoy what you do, your brain learns faster and remembers longer. Second, track your progress. Sometimes you might feel like you're not improving, but that's not true, you just can't see it. So, record your voice once a week. Write a small diary in English. Then, after a month, listen to your old recordings or read your first diary pages. You'll be amazed by how much you've improved. Third, reward yourself. Every time you complete a goal, maybe you spoke for 10 minutes without stopping, or you learned 20 new words, celebrate it. Say, yes, I did it. It might sound simple, but small celebrations build big confidence. Fourth, connect English with your dreams. Ask yourself, why do I want to learn English? Maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to study abroad, maybe you want a better job, or maybe you just want to connect with people around the world. Whatever your reason is, keep it close to your heart. When learning feels hard, remember your why. It will give you the strength to keep going. And finally, remember this: you are not alone. You have millions of people around the world learning English just like you. And here, in the Easy English Way community, we learn together, we grow together, and we support each other. Whenever you feel tired or stuck, come back here. Listen again. Practice again. You will always find encouragement waiting for you. Because the journey of learning English is not just about speaking another language. It's about discovering a new version of yourself, a more confident, more open, more connected version. When you learn a new language, you learn a new way to see the world. You start to think differently, feel differently, and dream differently. That's the real magic of English. So, my dear student, keep going. Keep learning. Keep smiling. Even if it's hard, even if progress feels slow, don't stop. Every small word, every sentence you speak, every minute you listen, it all counts. And one day, without even noticing, you'll realize, I'm fluent now. I can speak freely. I can think in English. That moment will come. And when it does, remember that it all started here, with small steps, daily practice, and a big heart that refused to give up. This is the power of belief. This is the power of effort. This is the easy English way. My wonderful learners, you've come such a long way. Look at you, listening, understanding, and thinking in English right now. That's progress. That's success. Today, you didn't just learn about English, you learned about yourself. You learned that you're capable of more than you thought. You learned that fluency doesn't come from fear, but from faith in yourself, in your journey, and in your daily effort. When you first started learning English, maybe you were shy, nervous, or afraid of making mistakes. But now, you know the truth. You know that mistakes are not the end, they are the beginning of growth. You know that practice doesn't have to be boring, it can be fun, natural, and full of life. And you know that you don't need to be perfect to be confident, you just need to be brave. Every time you speak, even if it's just one small sentence, you're building your confidence. Every time you listen and repeat, your pronunciation improves. Every time you think in English, your brain becomes faster, more flexible, more fluent. This journey you are on, it's not only about learning words. It's about learning courage, patience, and self-belief. English is simply the bridge that takes you to a bigger, brighter world. A world where you can connect with people from every country, where you can share your thoughts, your stories, your dreams. A world where nothing is impossible. So I want you to promise me something right now. Promise yourself that you will never give up. Promise that you'll speak English every day, even if no one is listening. Promise that you'll make mistakes proudly, because mistakes mean progress. Promise that you'll believe in yourself every single day. Because this is how fluency is built, not in one day, not in 1 month, but step by step, with patience and love. You already have everything you need inside you. You have the passion. You have the discipline. You have the heart. Now, all you need is consistency. And remember, you are never alone on this journey. Here, on Easy English Way, we walk together. Every video, every lesson, every word is made to help you grow, to guide you, to remind you that you can do it. So whenever you feel tired, just come back here. Listen to my voice again. Let it remind you that you are strong, smart, and capable. Let it remind you that English is not difficult, it's just a new friend you're getting to know. Now, take a deep breath. Smile. And say this with me, I am confident. I am improving. I can speak English. I am becoming fluent. Say it again. Louder this time. I am confident. I am improving. I can speak English. I am becoming fluent. That's it. That's your new reality. The more you say it, the more you'll believe it, and the more your brain will make it true. Because this isn't the end of your story. This is only the beginning of your fluency journey. A journey full of discovery, laughter, and growth. And I, Emma, will be with you every step of the way. Here, on Easy English Way, we learn with love, we speak with confidence, and we grow together. So go out there and start using your English, in your thoughts, in your words, in your life. Speak freely. Think boldly. Live beautifully. You can do it. You are doing it. And I am so proud of you. This is Easy English Way. Thank you for learning with me today. Until next time, keep speaking, keep smiling, and keep believing. Goodbye, my amazing students. See you soon.